And clearly you've been able to separate yourself as a company. You know, when I was prepping for the show, Viral Nation has literally gone viral. You guys are an incredible success. Walk me through some of the big milestones since you got past that first 100 customers, and then things just seem to have taken off for you guys. You are now representing some of the biggest iconic names in the business. Private equity came knocking. You know, walk us through some of the big milestones in your company's trajectory.
Yeah, I'd say so there were two or three major inflection points. The first one was, it was about a year to two in, where we decided to flip the business model to go after the other side of the equation. So the beginning of it, we were talent agents. So like your Jerry Maguires, your CAAs, UTAs, WMEs, we were those people for influencers. But we realized that business isn't necessarily entirely scalable unless you're just hiring hundreds and hundreds of humans. So we decided to open the other side of the equation, was the brand direct business, which was we'd be the advertising company behind the brands. So instead of us having to go to the brands, because what was happening early on, Jerome, was we'd go to, Sugarcrisp cereal as an example. Mm-hmm. We'd be going to Sugarcrisp agency. They'd be doing, we'd be doing everything. We'd be coming up with the creative, shooting the content, managing the talent, doing the entire thing. And then they would put agency fees on top of our fees to get something done, where it was highly inefficient. And the timing to get stuff done is terrible. So we just said, eliminate the middleman. We want to go to the source. And that was kind of our thesis, where we decided, okay, we're going to own the brand. And then once we did that, the budgets go from, you're a fifth or a tenth of a campaign to you owning 100% of that budget. And you may not have to use Viral Nation talent, because remember, we don't represent everybody. We don't represent every single creator in the world. It's impossible. So that business is, we are the partner to the brand. Whatever's best for the brand, that's where we deploy. It could be on TikTok, it could be on Instagram, it could be on YouTube, it could be anything. And it could be multi-service. It's not just creators. We do paid, we do content, we do social. We've done events. And that's a different side of the equation. Now, that was one of the main reasons why we scaled tremendously. Like that business compared to our talent business, it's 10 times the size, even today. And because we own the brand budgets, those who control the money hold the power. And that led us to scale. The next one was, and this was more of my passion project with it, which was I had this desire to think about, how does technology affect our ability to scale? Because in this industry, there wasn't a technology that could cater to a talent agency and an advertising agency combined. So we went out and we built our own technology to help fuel this entire engine. So it serviced our brand customers, it gave them best-in-class measurement analytics and creator management. And then on the other side, it helped us manage all of our talent. And that was a real inflection point, because it allowed us to scale much faster. And that's why technology is so important. It was like Deloitte having their own Salesforce, right? Like that was really the thesis behind it. And then the, call it third piece of this, was COVID. COVID was the time where traditional media couldn't be traditional media anymore. Why? Everything's closed. Nobody's watching TV other than streaming. There's nothing programming that can go on. Nobody's looking at a billboard. Hardly anyone was reading a paper at the time, where everything transitioned way more digital. So during the years of COVID, the first year of COVID, every single person in our space was scared. They're like, advertising's done, we're screwed, blah, blah, blah. We took the opposite approach, where we started hiring the best talent there was in the space, being like employees, and just said, we're going for it. This is going to be the wake-up call that this industry needs in order to really just catapult. And then since then, the rise of social media has just been astronomical, because where are people consuming content now? Where's this podcast going to be syndicated to? What do we spend, other than being with a human at work or at home, what are we doing? We're on our phones. We're on some sort of social outlet. And guess what Viral Nation is doing? Viral Nation is capturing the attention of that person in some way. So it was the bet. It was a gamble, but we have always been risk takers in the sense of knowing where to place our bets.